and whoever's listening to us today. This is HFM coming from a disclosed location.
That's very mysterious sounding.
In Ireland. So whoever's listening today on YouTube, welcome. Myself, Glen, he's talking, the host, and I'm joined by a friend of mine called Jason. Morning, Jason.
Good morning.
How did you enjoy the weekend?
I had a great weekend.
Yeah. Did you do anything fantastic? I
went shopping.
Oh. See. That's kind of can be fun, I suppose.
Yeah, well, our local mall, is a very pleasant place to be. It's just nice to hang out and bump into people you know and that kind of thing.
That's the thing, bump into people that you know, right? That's what I don't like about malls. When you go there, not putting the emphasis on the women all the time. It could happen to men as well. They just stand in the aisle and take up an aisle that they have a conversation. Same in the car park. Like, come on, move it. Move.
I'm not so familiar with people standing in the middle of car parks.
Yeah, but, well, from my own experience, I'm coming from my experience, a person that has trouble getting around and stuff. It doesn't happen to you that often because probably you can navigate around them pretty quick, can't you? Out of your way.
Well, I get annoyed when people are blocking up spaces, that's for sure.
Yeah, because I actually got annoyed with someone one day and I said, what are you looking at? Am I wearing something belong to you? And my mother just said, I shouldn't be saying that because I know the kid was only, he was a child and he was only curious and like I shouldn't have snapped. I was just in a bad humour about my disability and stuff like that, and I know kids just want information and come up and ask you, and they take your information in like a sponge, don't they? And I don't mind if they ask you how comes you're walking so slow and what's wrong with you and why if someone's in a wheelchair or something like that. I don't mind, but just to blatantly stare at you, I don't like it.
That's fair. Is that what happened? So the person was staring at you, and you think it was because you moved differently?
And the mother of the child said, "Why don't be staring? That's rude." And he kept staring.
Okay.
Do you know, I don't know what people's opinion on YouTube is about that today, but that was my opinion. What was yours, Jason?
Well, okay. Well, my whole thing is it's not so much about my opinion, and it's more about trying to find other ways to look at something. Not necessarily telling you you're wrong, or not necessarily saying that I'm right, but like kids are curious, you know, and like being curious doesn't mean that they're judging you.
No.
And the one thing I would also say about places like this big mall is that what I like about it is you see all sorts of people there. You were not the first person with a disability that child would have seen in there. You know, so it's a very diverse place to be. You basically see all kinds of people, and you know, people who use all sorts of ways to get around, whether it's pushchairs or crutches or wheelchairs or, you know, or walking or whatever. So, but at the same time, you know, if you don't want to feel observed, that's okay too.
It's like you feel. It's like I think for a person come from my point of view, from my disability, I think the word judges you sometimes, you know. I don't know what the listeners on YouTube think about this topic, but I'm just going.
It's your show, so
I'm just bringing it up today because I thought it was interesting, and I have to live with this since I was born, like, because face it, there's no magic cure of a disability or whatever you have, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It won't go away, you still have it. And no magic tablets to take the pain away or whatever, if you may be in pain, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I like about going to gigs and places like that. They write back and make you feel bad in the email, say, can you provide us with a reason why you need a disability access or seat or something? I was thinking once or twice to my brother, I said, did you want me to rip off my leg to show him or something?
Yeah, it's a difficult thing to answer, but I suppose on the other hand, you wouldn't want someone claiming to have a disability and then taking up a seat that then you can't have. You know, it's very difficult because, and we have laws against this stuff. We have discrimination laws that mean, you know, people can't be treated differently because of disability, religion, age, gender, or sexual orientation.
Yeah.
So in some cases that means not asking any questions about it, or not asking people to prove that they have a disability. Why
I brought this chat up today, and as you said, it's my radio, I can chat whatever I want.
Sure.
It's about, did you happen to hear about the government on the radio last week? They were wanting to take SMAs away from kids and stuff like that. So why do they think they have the right to take something that people's kids or grown-ups may struggle with in life or struggle with in school or college, wherever it may be, and that they don't need it anymore, but yet they had to backtrack and leave it?
Well, I mean, my main perspective on this is that I found the whole thing just very confusing, because at one point they were saying it's not about taking away SNAs, it's about redeploying them. So if a school has a certain number of SNAs, but that number of SNAs doesn't correspond to the number of children they have with special educational needs, and another school has a certain number of SNAs and that's not enough for the number of kids they have who have special educational needs, then the idea is you'd send the extra from this school over to this school. That's what I understood at first, which would mean you're taking an SNA from this school, but it's an SNA that school doesn't need, and you're sending it to a school that does need it. Now that's very inconvenient for the SNA, because it means they have to move jobs and they have to move workspaces and that kind of thing. So that was my understanding of it. I still can't say if that's exactly what it was, because they did because they did such a bad job of explaining it, and to the point of, you know, when they were interviewed about it on the news, they almost refused to explain it.
Yeah, they did. So they said you can still apply. Yeah.
So now it's been rolled back. I've got the.
That's why I came into you and firstly and told you last week.
Yeah.
And I didn't give you the full information because I didn't know it myself.
Yeah.
But I'm going to, this is not the last of this conversation I'm going to bring up to you, because it's a girl that I know that does SNA, and I think I might try to talk to her through Skype or something, on this program one day, to ask her what to explain it to us and stuff like that, because I still don't understand it. Why they think it's good to take some kids that may have problems, you know. That does make sense. It makes sense to me.
Well, again, like I said, they never really explained why they wanted to do it. It wasn't just about saving money or anything like that. Now,
because someone said to me, and I think it's right, but you can't point this to everyone and say they're wrong. But I genuinely believe the world doesn't care about people with disabilities, and that
the whole world.
No, but not the whole world, but just some parts of it. Like, what if them people that make that decision into Doyle or whatever, wherever it came from, I don't know, have a child with a disability and they need SNAs, you find they get it. They won't have to jump through hoops. They won't care. They will do what, not them the world trying to get their kids the right help, won't they? And I'm sure they they won't be saying, "Oh, my child has to have this." They won't roll it back for just one person. What I'm trying to say is, they will get it for their kids and they're rolling it back for others. They're not wanting to give it to others. To make sense.
Well, again,
You know?
I think this is the thing about. So the idea wasn't that any child would lose an SNA. It was that schools would lose SNAs, and those SNAs would be sent to other schools that needed them. But it was just, and I'm not defending it. I'm not saying it was a good idea.
No.
And I'm only saying it caused upset, not because of the harm it would do, but because nobody understood what it was, and everyone kind of started. It made everybody really worried, and yeah. So I feel I'm not trying to defend it. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that the services are anyway good enough for kids with disabilities, and I'm saying that I used to be an SNA.
Yeah.
But that more clarity is needed. Like, before we kind of go on the warpath about this, we kind of have to know what we're going on the warpath about.
Yeah.
You know?
But do you think when people take in Ireland come up with these staff laws that might affect people, do you generally believe? I think I do, anyway, that they haven't sat down and thought about the consequences.
I mean, that's a big question. I don't know.
Because, like, for instance, what I just said there, I brought up with that I went to a gig, and they emailed me back, and emailed my brother back and said, "Can you give me proof that your brother's disabled and needs that chair?"
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
And what proof did they want?
They want the proof that I had this disability. Sorry.
But how did they? What way did they want you to prove that?
Well, I got the member of this fine centre that I meant to write a letter or email a letter to them to tell them I attend this centre and I have a problem with my balance, and that worked out well for me. That got me the tickets.
Okay.
So
it's so difficult, isn't it? I mean, can I give a similar situation?
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm not defending any of this.
Yeah,
I'm just comparing it.
I know. All right.
People with disabled labels on their car. People with what do you call them?
Parking permits.
Parking permits.
Because I had to do it last night.
Yeah. So people with parking permits, you have to have a parking permit on your car to be able to use a disabled space. Yeah. Isn't that the same thing?
It is.
I mean, isn't it? You have, it's the proof that you have a disability, as distasteful and uncomfortable as that is.
Yeah.
But it is the thing that stops other people from taking that space and just making something up and saying, "Well, I have a disability. I don't have." How dare you ask me for a parking permit?
Yeah, but
is it kind of the same thing?
I don't think it is, because not every disability is visible, and not every disability is the same. You know what I mean? And like, sure, you may drive and have all these fancy gadgets to make you be able to drive the car and control the car, but like, if on that, I'm going by my friend now that needs it, my friend John, that he put up his sticker in town, and he was in a proper disabled bay, and he got lifted out of the bay because some grabber just grabbed his car, put it on the back, and fell all over. Because he didn't have a sticker, and that was bull, because every time my friend gets out of the car, he displays it on his dash like I have to do,
Yeah.
and my parents. But they reckon they didn't see it, and when my friend opened up the car to see where it was, he actually put it on the dash, alright, and it was on the floor in the car well, the floor, see, and like, but anyway, he had to walk all the way home because his car was in the pound over that,
Okay.
you know.
I mean that's unfortunate, but again, I'm throwing out ideas. I'm not. I'm putting myself in a difficult position here. Is that evidence that that society does care about people with disabilities or doesn't care about people with disabilities? Because if society didn't care about disabilities, there wouldn't be any such thing as disabled parking.
No, there wouldn't be. People might care about disabilities and just, and I'm not defending this idea like Jason said, just going along with the government for quiet life and saying they have to make things disabledly friendly, like doors have to be widened and everything like that,
Yep.
and shopkeepers, you got to make with shopkeepers, they have a raw deal, alright, they have to get liability insurance and stuff like that for customers and everything, and people with disabilities coming in and stuff like that, they have to give them access as their right to access and go along there, go through their life and try to fit in, and well, not fit in, but go through. I'm struggling for the word here, sorry.
That's right.
What I'm trying to say is they have to find a way to go through their day, that routine, without making it more complicated for them. If that means.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, this is what makes it complicated, and I don't want to sound like I'm kind of lecturing where it's not my place to lecture, but like, I mean, this is what's complicated about disability, which is that, you know, people don't understand what it is that you that makes things more difficult in your day to day, because they take their own non-disability for granted.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So it's not that people actively dislike people. It's just something they don't think about. And if you pointed it out to them, they'd be like, yeah, of course. And people like, a lot of people are very careful to kind of point out people parking in disabled spaces and things like that. Like that very obvious stuff. A lot of people are good to monitor, you know.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's so many other things that you, for example, have to navigate in your day that I don't, you know, and
they have to put a lot of effort into get whatever their disability is, you know, because I know from a friend of mine, he has to lift his chair in and out of his car every day.
Yeah.
And he used to be able to put it on the back seat out of the passenger seat, his car, his wheelchair, by taking off the wheel and putting it there, but now he can't, because he went away and this might sound stupid now when I say this, and people don't come for me when I say this. He went away and done a stupid thing, like got married, so the wife's in the front seat. He can't put the cat. Sorry, that I can see if I get.
No. I'm listening.
Okay. He can't put the wheelchair in the front seat with him anymore. He has to try and struggle and put it back behind him.
Yeah.
See. But he's got a new toy now. It's a big arm. You opens up and picks up his chair and puts it on the roof rack.
Nice.
Which is good, isn't it?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. So these things are like, and so many of these things, like what you're saying there, is your friend's experience is very real and very important and very kind of worthy of understanding, but it's also very specific. You know, that's something that he's dealing with that maybe other people are are just not dealing with. It's a different version of something, and like, so it's very hard for people to kind of have a big picture of all of this all at once. Again, not defending it. I'm not defending it. I'm always saying, but my point is, there's a point I want to go back to the thing you said about, like, I'm saying that, like, it is a complicated situation that means people need very specific things explained to them a lot, and that saying something like the world doesn't care about people with disabilities kind of cuts off all of that conversation. If you just say, like, well, people don't get it, so because people don't like disabilities, or people don't like people with disabilities, that's not giving people a chance to learn from you about what your life is like and why they should be more careful about how they go through the world, you know.
But maybe
is that too preachy?
No, maybe I'm a bit strong when I said that, but I stand by what I said, because I genuinely believe that in my life, because if people would dig that, they won't just be stupid parking places that they shouldn't be parking, like. And I recommend to the government, if they were listening, but I don't think any government will be listening to a YouTube.
Our stats are very low. We don't do a very good job of promoting ourselves.
So
Glen.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, go on.
But I reckon they should get in the Richards and go around Ireland and see what day-to-day problems that they come up against. Because, like, for instance, in this town, I see one disability parking spot, and there's probably more around them that have disability parking, and they have a pole right next to it. Like, what's going on there? Like, you know, I don't think they just think it out. I think if they put it, I think if they put the pole at the top of the where you stop your car, at the top where your bonnet ends, where you drive into the spot or behind the spot, it'd be fine, and you can back into it. But just to put it slap in the middle of it in place, it doesn't make sense, because that person has struggled to open the door, get his chair out, and everything like that, and he can't.
Yeah,
you know?
And again, not to defend it, but sometimes these things don't all happen at the same time. Sometimes the pole is there before that place is made into a disabled space, and then someone says, "Well, we can't take the pole out," you know, or something like that.
Yeah, I just think it needs to be taught.
You're absolutely right, and it just means that there are a lot of stakeholders, a lot of different people who need to talk to each other about it, and then there's the idea. I know I'm throwing in lots of ideas now when this is your topic, but there's the idea that people with disabilities aren't a whole separate category of people to people without disabilities. The things that benefit people with disabilities can potentially benefit everybody. So a better parking system and a fairer parking system benefits everybody, and the people who break that aren't doing it to spite disabled people. They're doing it because they're inconsiderate to everybody. So that idea being that, like, disabled people with disabilities aren't asking for or expecting special treatment. It's just it's not special treatment for anyone to just be able to get around, you know.
I think we had enough on this subject.
Oh so I'm not able to finish my point.
Oh no, I thought you were. I'm
No.
sorry.
So just to underline the thing that, like, in terms of, like, you've got a great perspective on all of this stuff. So my recommendation would be not to kind of just say, dismiss it all as, like, the world doesn't care about people with disabilities. It's that, like, people need to learn about disabilities, and you're one of the people who can teach them. You know.
Yeah. I'm going to, if I'm going to share this to a couple of people when this goes up tonight on YouTube or whatever, and I'm going to ask, if I may, in the comments, to tell me what your experience is, and I try to read some of them for the next time I'm on the radio, because this subject won't go away. It's about disabilities. It's always going to be here, and no matter what whether you be blind, got a problem with walking, whatever it may be, it's always going to be in part of your life. You know.
Exactly.
Because I know there's a woman and her husband on TikTok trying to raise money for her son. Harvey is his name on TikTok, and he's a lovely child, and his spine is actually crushing him.
Right, that's painful.
And the government in London is not actually wash their hands and not doing anything for them. So people are raising money as we speak, and if you go on TikTok and search up Harvey story, you get it on TikTok, and bring it tear to your stone.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's good. It means that, like,
I like that.
The community is like that. Well, I mean, doesn't that kind of contradict what you said about the world not caring about people with disabilities? There's a whole community and doing something.
There's a rapper on TikTok making a rap of Harvey's song and everything, and what his dream was of everything the boy's gone through and all the pain he's going through every day in his life. All he wanted is sit down and have a cup of tea from a football player. And that dream came true last week.
That actually, that was a very sad story. And
did you happen to read about it, Jason?
Yeah, and
it's a rare condition the young boy has.
Yeah, he had scoliosis.
And it's terrible because all the young people out there wanting them operations too, and going wrong.
And the outrage over it was massive, and it's just it never should have happened. It never should have.
But I think his mother's fighting hard, and his father obviously is fighting hard, and his mother put up a post last night of him sitting in his gaming chair with his favourite song, which happened to be Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran, and the caption is his mother wrote the caption, all the pain this young boy is going through, all he wants to do is sit down at the end of the day with his headphones, playing his computer and singing his favourite song.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And hopefully some good comes of this and services improve, and no one else has to go through what he went through. Yeah. But that's cold comfort for people who loved him, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's like Coco's Law that came into place when something happened and some kind of accident happened in the world. These laws come into force when something is too late. Unfortunately, don't it?
Yeah, that's it.
And I'm going off stopping this subject.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no. But again, I at the risk of overstating myself, this just shows kind of like your potential as an activist. So you can be angry about all the things that are wrong with how people with disabilities are treated, and be cynical and say and say like, what's the point? Nobody cares. Or you can take this knowledge and insight that you have and use it to kind of make things happen. And And doing this show is one of those things, you know.
I like doing this show, but I just, that was my little rant for today, because I think the world's unfair sometimes.
I'm sure a lot of people would agree with you on that. Yeah.
And no one's going to change the way people feel and stuff like that, you know.
Well, again, I have to push back. Things have changed to some degree. Like, things used to be a lot worse for people with disabilities, like institutionalization and all that stuff.
Because look, when you were born a couple of years back, there was no place for a person with disability. Just wanted to put you into a home to get about you.
Exactly. Yeah, and that was Catholic Ireland.
Yeah. It's not really.
So again, I know I keep reframing everything you say, so I'm sorry for doing that, but it's like, maybe instead of just, it's more that things have gotten better, but maybe not quickly enough.
Not quickly enough. No. So
there we go.
I think we spent enough time in this case.
Well, we do have a guest waiting in the wings.
Yeah.
So maybe before we wrap up, we'll change the tone a little bit. I'll go get him. Let's see. Will we do this? Oh yes, let's do that.
Hey, big trick magic.
There we go. All right, Glen.
Big trick
things
magic.
going there, Caroline.
I was out the weekend playing my favourite sport, snooker. I don't know whether other people on YouTube like snooker. For me, it's I think my troubles or worries just flowing. I enjoy it. I'm in my own little bubble, and I wonder what everyone else thinks of on YouTube. What do they do to unwind on the weekend just to put the week's work behind, you know? As I said, I like watching snooker, playing snooker, and listening to some music at home and watching TV films, you know? I always like that kind of stuff. I kind of have a lot of stuff to use up my time sometimes. And as Jason said a while ago, we have a guest, and the guest just came into the room this morning.
Okay, camera magic. Oh. Would you like to introduce our guest, Glen?
This guest is well known for writing songs and a drop of a hat and everything like this, and he's currently drops in from time to time into the studio to me and Jason. So come on, Mark Dunn, how are you?
Well.
Well, exactly. That's a great say.
How are you?
I'm not too bad, Mark. Yourself?
Good.
What wonderful songs have you wrote today for us to listen to?
I wrote a song a long time ago, so I think
it's a couple of years old, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Radio Kerry.
All right. For obvious reasons. No.
What?
Now, people might not know what Radio Kerry is. How would you describe it?
It's down in Kerry.
Yeah.
That's a good Mark.
And it's a radio station.
Yeah, it's a radio station. And I can get a home.
On your what?
On my Google.
Yeah. And you can also get it if you have Alexa. They're good, you can get two Alexas and Googles. They're brilliant.
Okay. So will we get the song going?
Take it away, Mark.
My favorite radio station is Radio Kerry. I listen on life on the other stations, like for FM and News Talk and Today FM. Radio Kerry, 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 Radio Kerry. I left the sports on the weekends and the 11 to 1 club. But I can only listen when I'm at home, 'cause I need my Google. It's gone all the stuff I like on the other stations, like for FM and News Talk and Today FM. Radio Kerry, 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 Radio Kerry.
And the people on the YouTube go wild. Well done, Mark. Well done. That's great sound, Radio Kerry. So,
Mark, was there anything you wanted to talk about today? Anything you wanted to tell us about? Or just the song?
Yeah, just a song.
See any good matches lately?
Oh God, it was a bad one last night.
Tell us about
Yeah.
that. That sounds interesting.
Man United.
oh, I take it from what you said there was bad that your team didn't come out on tops.
In fact, they won, but the match was useless.
Yeah. No, Mark. That's good feedback.
So it was boring, or lots of fouls, or
We leave it or not, it was like sorry for it. It's like a wobby match.
A rough match.
okay, was because it was so rough.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, would you watch that match? Would you put that in the same bracket as the Ireland match to begin up on Saturday? No,
Was that a rugby match?
it was Robbie. In Ireland.
Yeah.
Did you like it in the match and Ireland?
Yeah.
And will you?
I didn't really watch it because I like the
Yeah.
sports on the weekends, so.
All right. So you didn't really have interest in it. No?
Yeah, I don't really like wobbies, so.
Oh, well, that was only Robbie, anyway. Oh, Robbie. So
Gentlemen, should we do a quote of the day before we finish?
I think we should, because we'll finish now soon. Then thank you for singing that song, Mark. That was brilliant. I enjoyed that, Radio Kerry, and I'm sure you're dropping again. Thanks.
Okay. Here's an interesting one. Here is an interesting one for today, Glen. This is a quote from someone called Blaise Pascal. Who is Blaise Pascal, you may ask?
Who was suggesting? Yes, I am.
I don't even know if that's a male or a female name, because it's a French name. A French philosopher from about 500 years ago. No, 400 years ago. So, let's see if it's still relevant. So the quote is, "It is the fight alone that pleases us, not the victory."
That kind of I picked up on that and thinking straight away that you have to fight for what you got, and when you get that fight and succeed, the pleasure is great, the achievement is great, you achieved something.
Well, he's saying. I think he's saying something different. I think he's saying it's the fight that pleases us, not the victory.
Oh.
Now, I'm not saying you have to agree with it, but I think that's
Well, as you said, no, right or wrong answer to these questions. So that's the way I took it into my head.
Mm.
You know. So maybe I should start out saying it's the fight or the victory. You know, and I suppose whatever way you look at it, the conversation that look into that for a lot for what he wrote, he's not wrong there, like, because he wrote that down, and he whatever was fight where whatever he was fighting about, and if he won it, fair play to him. It's a great sense of achievement over that, isn't it?
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
It's like, for instance, if I can use you as an example, right? If you went home and you move on your guitars and banjos and stick a bring to a guy that fixes up a guy to fix it, you look at a YouTube tutorial at home and say, look, I think I tackle this instead of paying that money that I may or may not have to fix it, and have a go yourself at fixing it. You know.
I was wondering what the quote would mean for what we were talking about. You know, disability stuff, disability awareness, disability rights.
Yeah.
That the fight is. That the fight is important, whether, you know, even if it takes a long time to win.
Like that song. This is my fight song.
Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that.
Interesting. Okay. So again, throwing my own interpretation in when that's not my job here. Okay, Mark, what do you think? Do you think it's better? Do you think fighting for the things that are important to you is important? Why? Yes, that was an awful way to say that. That made no sense, did it?
Sorry, no.
Do you enjoy working for the things you want, or do you like even if it takes a long time to get there? You know.
Yeah.
Like when you're writing songs, it can take a long time to write the words and to remember the words and to record it and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like before we finish up this today, it's like, Mark, I came into Gerson, so I wanted to to learn a couple of songs on YouTube through sign language, and I'm adamant about doing that, and I think I'm halfway there with Jason's help, and I can know how to slow the music down now.
Yeah. So you're learning other things on the way.
Learn other things as well, skills that I thought I never could have, you know. So anyway,
that might be something for a future show.
Yeah, that might be something for another show. So stay tuned. So I want to thank my guest Mark for dropping in today. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks.
You're welcome, and I hope you keep up with the music and write some music. So from me, Mark and Jason, adios till next week, lads.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, ever.